San Diego State is going to be a completely different look than what they've done before. They've been ball control defense, ball control defense, ball control defense. They are going to be high flying. We want to score as many points as possible. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master of Football back at it again. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things college football, hit that red subscribe button. Do it right now. And the like button too. That helps me out in the algorithm. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys. At San Diego State, and again, I'm a Boise State fan. I'm very familiar with San Diego State. They are one of the teams that we have the hardest time with, Boise State being we, in the fact that San Diego State has just been a defensive nightmare for a lot of years. Excuse me, they've been a nightmare for other offenses they've been a nightmare for offenses for the last couple of years. That's the correct terminology there. Anyways, they've been great with that. However, with Brady Hoke leaving, Rocky Long originally left a couple years ago, and then Brady Hoke is retiring right now. They need a new head coach, and they've decided to go, instead of the defensive route, they decided to go the offensive route. Here we are from Adam Rittenberg talking about Colorado offensive coordinator Sean Lewis is named the San Diego State head coach. And originally, the defensive coordinator at Nebraska was rumored to be the guy they were going to bring in, a 3-3-5 defensive guy as well. However, because of the contrast with the current team now and what Sean Lewis brings to the team, they decided to bring him in. So San Diego State hired Sean Lewis with the offensive coordinator from Colorado and former Kent State coach as his new head coach yesterday. Lewis spent the 2023 season with coach Deion Sanders in Colorado handling offensive play calls for the first 8 games before former NFL head coach Pat Shurmur took over during the final month. Lewis, 37, built his reputation on high-tempo, dynamic offenses which he used as a coordinator at Syracuse, Bowling Green, and Eastern Illinois before Kent State's program from 2018 to 2022. They mentioned here, talking about Brady Hoke, the fact that Brady Hoke announced his retirement earlier. He went 40-32 in 2 stints with the San Diego State Aztecs, and he went 4-8 this season, their worst mark since 2009. Lewis will be introduced at the news conference later Wednesday morning. It mentions here that San Diego State focused on candidates with a background in offenses, sources said, after falling to 111th nationally in scoring this fall. Although the program is 117-62 since 2010 under Hoke and Rocky Long, again, really good defenses, the Aztecs are just 74th in scoring offense during that span. San Diego State opened a $310 million Snapdragon Stadium for the start of the 2022 season. Adela de la Torre stated here that Sean has shown that he can develop student athletes both on and off the field. On the field, he has a proven track record as a dynamic offensive play caller, and I look forward to seeing what he will do with our program in terms of recruitment. He will surely energize our fan base, a fan base made up our students and families, our faculty and staff, our donors, and nearly 500,000 living alumni. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through Sean Lewis's history, kind of talk about what he brings and kind of how it's a little bit of a controversial hire, in addition to what he's stepping into and how this is a drastic change. I mean, this is a complete flop from what we usually see with the San Diego State Aztecs, but let's get into that right now. So as it mentioned before here, he's been a couple different places. Again, he was originally a punt returner and tight end out at Wisconsin from 2005 to 2007. He's been a GA at Akron, and then tight end coach, wide receiver coach at Bowling Green, Syracuse, Kent State, Colorado, and now San Diego State. Now at Kent State, he took the team and improved them from 2-10, 7-6, 3-1, 7-7, and then 5-7. Fell off a little bit there, but then he ultimately left for University of Colorado as an offensive coordinator for Coach Prime's first year with the Buffaloes. And when you check out here, the narrative from Deion Sanders and from everybody involved basically says offense, 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 offense. It says here Deion Sanders reveals why he brought Sean Lewis to Colorado, and he says, a guy that could take this offense to another level. We've always had success defensively tremendously at our prior stops. Offensively, we had success as well. We just want to up the ante and go to the next level and also take Shedeur to another level. And he was ready. He was ready for the challenge of not just the play and calling the dynamics of the plays and the structure of the offense, but with the personnel as well. I've been telling you guys, we have some tremendous athletes on the offensive side of the ball as well as the defense. And we saw that those first 3 weeks coming out against the defending national championship game participants. Again, they lost the game, TCU, coming out and beating Nebraska, and then in addition to beating Colorado State in one of the most watched games all season. We saw that explosive offense, Shedeur Sanders, all those guys, Dylan Edwards, everything they did out there was so explosive. As a matter of fact, when you check it out, it is extremely apparent how quickly a Sean Lewis offense works, especially as compared to San Diego State offenses. So this right here was last season. This is not the 2023 season. This is the 2022 season. We see time of possession right here overall. Number one in the country was Air Force. We come down here a little bit and we're able to see the fact that San Diego State was 36 at 31 minutes and 6 seconds on average. Again, all the way up here at the top was Air Force at 36 minutes and 27 seconds on average. But good old Kent State with Sean Lewis, they play one way, they play fast. Let's go all the way down here. Boom. He does not care about time of possession. They average 25 minutes and 57 seconds, third worst in the country. But remember, a lot of people feel like time of possession is an overrated stat, especially these explosive offensive guys. This is what San Diego State is getting. Now, San Diego State for years has been a defensive team. They've always been very good. Again, when Rocky Long came over with that 3-3-5 defense, he did a really, really good job. DeMonte Casey went to the NFL. They've got a lot of guys out there that did a good job. You see the fact that here, the top defenses in the country, this is last season, 2022, and we've got this SDSU Aztecs right here, close to we'll say the top quarter. Here we are in 2021, the previous season, and they're over here in the top 10 or 12. In the 2019 season, they were a top 5 defense in the entire country in yards per game. And then in 2018, they're over here, probably a top 15, top 20 team out here. Again, San Diego State has been known for defense, but right now they're going to get known for offense pretty dang quick. And if you don't believe me, even checking out this year, we see what San Diego State has right now. They were the 13th best team in time of possession this season, even with the fact they didn't have the season that they wanted to. They were, 32 minutes and 29 seconds on average. We come down here, we check down Colorado, and what do you know? They're 1/22, 27 minutes and 33 seconds. They're over 100 spots away from each other. San Diego State is going to be a completely different look than what they've done before. They've been ball control defense, ball control defense, ball control defense. They are going to be high flying. We want to score as many points as possible. Now, it's important to note here, one of the things that it mentioned in that article about him when he was at Sean Lewis at Colorado this season was the fact that he started off the offensive coordinator for the first and play caller for the first 8 games of the season. And you see what they've done here. 510 yards passing, 393, 348, 371, 400. And then ultimately he was replaced after this loss at UCLA. So he was 4-4 as the offensive coordinator. Pat Shurmur gets in there and they lose to Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and Utah. People don't forget how brutal the Pac-12 schedule was entering. The Pac-12 is in an absolutely terrifying league so far this year. Colorado, again, replaced him after those 8 games, and we get into the reason why. So remember here, after that game, after that loss against UCLA, Colorado promoted Pat Shurmur to offensive play calling per reports. I'm coming in here and he says, Coach Deion Sanders expressed that Colorado needs to, quote, get new linemen this offseason. So as much as we would like to say, again, what's the question here? Is the fact that, Sean Lewis was not a good offensive coordinator in terms of defending the quarterback, or was it a lack of players? Whatever it is, you read into that. However, he was replaced, but ultimately his prior coaching experience with Kent State, in addition to what he did with Shedeur Sanders, was enough for San Diego State to make him the next head coach. And make sure that it's known here, he did fantastic work with Shedeur Sanders, even in those 8 games that he was the offensive coordinator. So we come down here and see this fact. He had 3,200 yards. He had 27 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He did not play past this UCLA game. So again, there's 5 touchdown passes here. So what he had, 22 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions as a quarterback while Sean Lewis was the offensive coordinator, and about 300 yards a game. That's pretty dang good and just vastly different than what San Diego State has been exposed to. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a completely different game in terms of watching SDSU football now, who's kind of like an Iowa West, and now we're going to see a very explosive offense. People forget what this team is capable of. We come down here and check out the 2021 season, the season that let them down. In addition to beating at home the eventual Pac-12 champion Utah Utes, they came down here, they won all these games, they were 11-1 entering the Mountain West Championship game, and then boom, you see the score, it looks like they lost by 33. However, you have to remember there, 20 players tested positive for COVID before this game. They were ruled out. They were drastically undermanned. They played Utah State, and they ultimately lost the game. This was their opportunity for a New Year's Six game, the second Mountain West team to do so. It missed, arguably because of something that was out of their hands. And again, that season was right here. At one point, they were ranked number 19 team in the country in the CFP. They would have been in a New Year's Six game there. But you see the fact here, we look at this. Ever since Chuck Long took over in 2008, they were 2-10. And then Brady Hook took over for a couple years. And then Rocky Long with that 3-3-5 defense. Again, that's what they've been known for. We'll see if they keep it. I do know that the offense is going to be drastically different. We saw what they've done: 9-4, 8-5, 7-6, 11-3, 11-3, 10-3, 10-3, and then 12-2. Again, this team is missing that one pinnacle year. Tulane's had theirs. Boise State has had theirs. Cincinnati's had theirs. Memphis has had theirs. San Diego State has not had theirs as of yet, but they're capable of it. We'll see what Sean Lewis can do. And Sean Lewis has an interesting schedule coming up these next seasons. Again, there was a recent, report that that Oregon State and Washington State are close to a scheduling alliance with the Mountain West. So they already play Washington State this next year. They also play at Cal, who's going to be an ACC team next season. And then Central Michigan, we got Cal, Washington State, we got UCLA, Oregon State, we've got Missouri and Oklahoma, we got Missouri, Arizona State. There's some difficult non-conference matchups coming up here. We'll see what happens here, but we do know enough to know that, again, that defensive rough and tumble team that we've seen before for San Diego State, if they can keep that, that would be good. But we do know that the ball control offense is getting gutted. They are going to be high flying, pedal to the metal for the future. I have tremendous respect for San Diego State as a team. San Diego State has given Boise State the most trouble out of all the teams out there over the course of the entire history of their program. They've got the worst winning record against them in terms of the teams in the Mountain West. You look at that right there. The fact that the university is investing with that new stadium. They're getting Sean Lewis. They're going to switch from a 3-3-5 ball control offense all the way over to Sean Lewis's we don't give a dang about time of possession offense. Really explosive, helped out Shadur Sanders a lot. What do you guys think is going to happen with San Diego State? You guys get in the comments and let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you guys later. I am out.